girl Kay, and I'm back with another banger. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about these viral posts that went about women being mad about a man sending $15 for lunch, and also about a woman breaking up in a text message. I have my guest today, Miss Marcella. I want her to come in and introduce herself.
Hi, guys. My name is Marcella. I am part of a group called NEGROZ. We have a show on Spotify and YouTube. It's a variety show discussing various topics, political issues, societal issues, Black love and unity issues. So if you can, check us out at NEGROZ. You can see us on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok. Odd Negroes spelt with a Z, because we do a little different over there, okay? But hi, Kashari. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. I'm so excited. I found you in a group with the
Yes.
Black podcaster. I'm definitely excited to see so many Black excellent people out here.
Yes.
Black power.
Likewise, likewise. I love your work. I've seen your progress, and I'm rooting for you. I mean, I can tell you're very passionate about this, and you're enthusiastic. So I just want you to keep going, and praise to you. Okay.
I appreciate that. It encourages me to hear feedback from everybody. It
Yes.
really does.
Yes.
So we're gonna go into the topic about the woman breaking up through a text message. She basically was saying, I'm gonna read the text message.
Okay.
She says, Hi, I'm breaking up with you. I have this requirement that any man I choose to be with will be a provider, and I don't feel like you are one. I feel like you have this idea that a woman deserves to be given the world after she stands by a man when he's struggling because he has somehow proven her loyalty or whatever. I will not be holding it down for you like that or any man ever. I am not going to keep laying down with you while you're providing absolutely nothing for me and not adding value to my life. I already told you before we started dating that that was exactly what I did not want, and I expected you to not um, redo the cycle that I've been through. On top of that, you don't take me anywhere. I feel used. I'm not even gonna lie. All we do when we come over is have sex and talk about giving head to each other. It's a little bit of fun, but I deserve better. I want a provider who will take care of me, my every need, and spoil me. I should never have to tell a man to open a door for me. That's the bare minimum. If you're not ready for me, then find someone else. So, on that thought, my point of view, really quick, I feel like she knew her boundaries, but she didn't stand on it.
Mm.
She was being very optimistic and maybe seeing a potential in him, but really not standing on her boundaries because at first she started having sex with him so that with a man, as I was told, if you give it up first off the jump, then you really crossed out anything else that you wanted with him because
Mhm.
now he's just gonna put you in the category as okay, well, I could just get sex from her. I'm not gonna think about being with her because it was just too easy to get. Not necessarily, she wasn't really making it known that she really wanted to provide her, that she wanted more than that because all they talked about was sex. You got to talk about more. So, what
Mhm.
you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think she may have messed up, like you said, with kind of jumping into the relationship where maybe he really wasn't ready yet. Um, in that text, that is a lot of pent up aggression. Like she's angry with him, disappointed really. And to break up, first of all, breaking up the text, that's not the best, way, adult way to do things. But
Yeah.
she's clearly done with him, and she's like, I want you gone from my life. And it's unfortunate that because we live in a society where, progress is very important, like progress in life and finances and status. Like, people gravitate towards that. And unfortunately, maybe this guy just wasn't in the right, in the right, he wasn't
Mind frame.
ready. Like, yeah, he wasn't ready for, he wasn't meeting her at the level that she needed to be at. She already saw what she wanted. I don't understand if she already told him, like, listen, I don't want to repeat what I used to go through with you. Like, she already told him straight up. And if he wasn't reading between the lines and understanding his position, then you gotta like break away. But I think we have to allow each other space to grow. And maybe he wasn't just on the level just yet. Maybe eventually she could circle back, and he's a better mate for her. But you got to do what you got to do. If that's your life and you see other things, you can move on. It's no problem. But the
Yeah,
texting, we break up. I don't think that's cool.
yeah. I was just about to say, I would never, if I don't recall, break up through a text message. It needs to be face to face. But I think that she did that out of
Mm,
guilt and knowing that she didn't stand on her boundaries, so she didn't want to really face him
right,
with that talk.
right.
And also feel like it makes me wonder, like when they first started, did they have a discussion about whether they want to be in a relationship or not, or was it an entanglement, or y'all just talking, like laying the ground on what exactly you expect out of each other?
Mm-hmm,
And she stated she already told him about her past. I
right.
get telling them about our past, but some things you need to keep to yourself, because a lot of times men will use it against you in
Mm,
different points of time. And so those secret times and vulnerable times that you told to him, they can use in an argument or anything, if you get what I'm saying. Or he can
absolutely.
use it and repeating it.
Yeah.
That's why it seems like you're trying to repeat it,
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning. I think that she should have just stood on it, and I want this, I want that. If you didn't show it from the jump, I gotta go. But I don't agree with the text message at all. I would
You,
have been upset.
as women, we're nurturers, we're caretakers, and you see potential in people, especially someone you're sleeping with. You want to see potential. And it's unfortunate that we live in a society where it's a now, like you got to have it now. It's like you can't really build upon something, and I feel that kind of hinders real connection, because we're constantly trying to go up the ladder. And she probably feels behind, you know, and there's you got pressure from family, you got pressure from friends, and it's hard on a man to do all those things in a society that is facing inflation, job shortages. Like, I don't know what the
Right.
situation is with, the income, or, but why they're not advancing, why he hasn't proposed, or, gone, you know, and, you give your body to someone, that's sacred. So it's like you want to feel connected, and clearly they weren't connecting on other levels. It was just sex. So if you want to get your groove on, that's fine. But we got to end it here, because now, like, we gotta take care of our business, and I don't want to just be, you know, bang bang, and then it's not like, that's not a relationship. That's just sex.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's the norm. I feel like I wouldn't, be too upset with him, because he may not be ready. Like you said, the norm in society right now, it's hard to get a job. It's
Hmm.
hard to keep a job.
Yes.
Everybody says they're hiring, but they're really not. So I
Hmm.
wouldn't beat him down that much, but I
Hmm.
would if I don't see growth. if I
Right.
don't see trying to improve and progress as well as I
Right.
am, because then you're not on the same level and mind frame I'm at.
Yeah.
So I do get it. Sometimes we will start off with sex because we want to see if we got that chemistry together sexually, but then after that we want to see if they have it mentally with us, and just wanting to be able to grow with a person. But a lot of times it gets stuck in a just sex. So if it's gonna get stuck in just sex, then you need to let it be known. We just gonna have sex. That's
Hmm.
it. But no attachments, no nothing. I
Right.
gotta live my life. I want better.
Yeah.
So at that point, I get it. She want to end it there. She want more. I
Yeah.
get it.
I mean, you got to do what's best for you. And it's unfortunate if he was, probably a really nice, decent guy. But she said he didn't open the door for her.
At least
I was
open the
like,
door. At
oh, like,
least open the door.
you're not a gentleman. Okay, we haven't learned that yet. Like but I think you have to teach someone how to treat you at the same time. It's like, no, like you open the door for me. You stand on the, right side of me, left side of me. If we're in the street, like like there are things that men should know to do. Sometimes they don't. It's sometimes our job to teach them if they, were failed a little bit in their adolescence. You know, but
Like you said, failed in adolescence.
but
Because they may not have a father in their life
yeah,
to, teach them. So I
and that's
definitely get you.
yeah, that I think that's part of it sometimes, but you got to know the basics, guys. You got to know the basics.
Please do, cause I've been there, done that, so I get it.
Mhm.
A lot of times they be like, "You shouldn't have to teach a man how to do this," or a man be
Well,
like,
who's gonna
"A woman,
teach them?
right? Who's gonna teach you how to treat me the way that I want you to be?"
Exactly.
That's all it is. I'm not
Mm,
saying you're not a man. I'm just
right.
saying you need to be the man that I want you to
I
be.
want exactly. And if I'm teaching you and you're not learning, then okay, we gotta go bye bye.
That means you
It's
don't
like
want to.
I done told you, like, now you gotta go.
But they say though on a different podcast. I'm not going to say his name.
Mm.
We had a similar subject, and he said, okay, so if a man is opening a door for you, don't you supposed to reach your arm over and open the door for him? I said, uh, I don't think that ever happened in life
He's
or
like, nope.
expectation.
I don't know. I'm very like my position is like it's always about equality. Like I'm in my relationship, we are total equals, but he'll probably do a little bit more for me as in terms of the gentleman qualities. But I like to return the favor. Like I'll open the door for him sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just your relationship, how you like you said, you how you want to be treated in a relationship, And I don't like again, like, we have those gender rules,
Roles.
I don't you don't really follow that. It's kind of a mesh, but that's what works for us. I don't know how it would work for you or for someone else. Some women really like believe in that chivalry, um gentleman quality, so it depends.
I really wouldn't get too mad if he doesn't open the door, but at the same time, I'm just gonna stand right there like,
What?
so
Teach
who gonna
them,
open the door?
lady, teach them. You
Now,
don't be standing out here looking.
that's the same with bringing a man a plate of food. Now, if I'm cooking, I'm gonna bring my plate in the room. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna bring your plate too. Here you
Mhm.
go.
Mhm. Mhm.
Here's your drink.
Mhm.
Now, will he wash the dishes? I'm gonna expect wash the dishes, please.
Yes,
Thank
there you
you.
go. There you go. I mean, again, basics. Like if you see me do something for you, and again, like you said, if you want to, like like people know what to do. They know what to do. I think they just either get so complacent or comfortable that they
Comfortable
they they misread the room. I guess. But
or the sickness.
I think men and women should like be more about equality in relationships and just know the basics, and so like the relationship can be fun You don't always have to feel so like, oh my God, I do more than you. I do, you do, you don't do enough. Like, I feel that hinders a relationship. So you got to find a common ground and work on work on those things, you know?
I get it. I've been there where I said, "Oh my gosh, I did this and that for you," but not really because I'm not the type of person to throw it in your face because I did it out of love. And
Hmm.
so some people will throw it into your face. Well, I did this and that for you.
Right.
So why do I gotta do it now? You should return it back. That's like with going on dates. Do you expect a man to pay for the date every time? Or is it equal? Like one day he may not got it. That's your partner. Kick it up. You
Hmm.
know?
Right. Yeah. I I think I think a lot of us are on like reality TV time. Like, I think we're all consuming like this lifestyle that is not really true for or even normal for us. So when we watch these things and we think, "Oh, that's how I want to be treated." Like it's not real. So you look at, other people and you want that, but you don't know that's not, that's all staged. So it's like I feel like sometimes people end up living in this fantasy and they're not like really looking at a person. And when you have, when like you said, your example of going out to eat, maybe they don't have it. Like that's not a sign of failure. That's not a like, that's just life, Sometimes, and then you have to be a partner and, d- uh, uh, share your wealth, share um your uh your money with your love. I mean, this is your lover. Like, why not? Why make them feel bad? Why feel bad? We're supposed to share.
That goes with a lot of men saying that off the jump, women love to ask for money through Cash App or you're gonna pay my bills and such, and they were like, We're just dating. I shouldn't have to do all of that. It's not my priority to pay your bills.
Hmm.
My priority." I feel like on that such when you're dating, your priority is to get to know each other. But in that such, you need to have that person back. So if she don't have it that month and you got a little bit of cash on you, help her. That's about it. We're not trying to be a gold digger or
Right.
anything.
Yeah, I think I hate the term gold digger. I hate the what do they always call people dusty. I hate those terms.
Um, um,
Bum, like I feel like we reduce each other to our wallets, And I just think relationships have to be more than that. It has to be more than what, people can provide for you. Girl, if you can't provide for yourself, man, if you can't provide for yourself and you looking for someone else to do it, I don't think that is, you know,
it's not fair.
I like you want to go out and eat like some fancy restaurant, take yourself out. You know? Like
Self care.
so exactly self-care. Go out with your girlfriends. Some men cannot afford, the $3 restaurant, So it's like or $4 restaurant. But maybe you can't. So girl, go out and take yourself out and go and have a good time. And don't diminish someone's value based on what they could provide for you.
Absolutely, like with the first dates situation. I think it was one woman. She told him she wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory, but would not get out the car. Would not get out the car. She embarrassed him. She was like, "Why are we here?" Then he asked you where would you like to go,
Uh-huh.
and you get there, you don't want to go. Like, what makes you better than anybody that you or above that you think you can't go in there? What's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? Like, would you be even madder if he took you to McDonald's?
Right.
Like,
I,
make it make sense.
I've been to Cheesecake Factory twice and it's I. For me, it was I. But again, stop shaming people for where you said you wanted to go. Like if you wanted to go there, that was your choice. And if you didn't want to go there, then you should have spoke up, put your grown woman pants on, and tell the man, listen, I don't do this. I prefer this. And like, or we could come to a compromise. Like I can meet you in between. Like, like my boyfriend, he's like, hey, listen, if you want oysters, I know a good place that serves really good oysters. It doesn't have to be this fancy, they always think like,
Mhm.
oh, the fancier the restaurant, the better the food, Some of the best restaurants are like the really cheap places. So I think
Yes,
if you're a foodie, you don't care. You just want to have a good time. So I think people who do that, they don't like food.
right. It's just about the image. Image,
Exactly.
really. I'm about the food. I want good food. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go on a road trip. I'm a foodie.
Exactly.
Okay. Because I just went to the juicy seafood. We got
Mm.
too many seafood places down here, but I decided to go to that place. And
Mm-hmm.
I had coupons because I love couponing. Say, yep, I got my coupon. We're gonna get this
Ow.
10%. We're gonna get this.
Ow.
It's his birthday. Let's go. Definitely, I feel like when it comes to dates, be creative. Think about the money that you have, and
Yeah.
it's about spending time with each other, making memories, and having fun. Not necessarily about how much money you spend.
Okay, let me drop that. Okay, so the first date should always be at a park. You want to like really get to know each other. Just so quiet. You want to know who you're getting involved with. You want to know their mental state. If they can carry a conversation. You want to know, like, and it should be at least 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Like, get to know one another.
Mhm,
And then the second date, we go out to a medium price place, something we both can agree on. We both maybe even go Dutch. Who knows? Let's just so there's not that much pressure. And then by the third date, since we've gotten to know each other, we can like go to a fancy restaurant that you can pay for, and also you've built up the time to save up for that really nice expensive
mhm,
restaurant. And I think people just going to the first date like, oh, we got to do everything like right then and there. Like, no,
mhm.
take your time. There's no rush, you know?
Take me to a coffee shop. I love poetry, coffee, slam. Let's go. Open mic,
Exactly.
karaoke.
Yes,
It has to be like the first day. I feel like it has to be surrounded in the public because I don't know you that much. I
exactly.
need to feel safe.
Yes,
And we do need to get to know each other.
yes.
Now, like you said, date 2 or 3, maybe saving up money. You getting to know me, know where I want to go, where you can
Mm-hmm.
afford, or where you want to
Mm-hmm.
go. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But on that note, it was a woman recently. She was attacked she was on a dating app and they went on a date, but they decided to be at her house first off the jump for her to cook him a meal. They
No.
would chill, watch TV and stuff. I'm gonna let you know off the jump. I've been in that situation before. Don't want to talk about it, but things happen,
Oh
and
no.
that happened to her too.
Oh no.
What happened was, I guess she didn't let him know who she was, fully,
Mm.
and they got started kissing and stuff heated up, and he attacked her and slit her neck. Yeah, slit her. It didn't kill her, thank God, but she has that living trauma and scar right here.
Um.
People saying that she didn't deserve that, but I get why people in the LGBT community kind of protect themselves with releasing that they're transgender. Um, But I also think that you need to let that person know when you're starting to kiss them and you think you're about to get intimate, please let them know because at that moment, uh, he may have feel like uh, she was dishonest or something. Men with their ego and pride or in that such. What you think?
Oh, wonderful topic. On NEGROZ, we have a episode about transphobia. We discuss things like that. But for me, there's this documentary I watched. I forget what the name of it is.
Mhm.
Um, but basically this person said that they don't tell, them that they're trans, whoever they're dating, that they're trans. And they take it as like if they find out about it, it's them being homophobic. And or transphobic, I should say. But I feel like that's such a cop out, because you're lying to someone, you're misleading them. I'm not saying this is what they did. I don't know who knew what, or what, but I don't want to make it seem like, oh, that's that person's fault that they got attacked. But withholding information is a form of lying, and I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to be real about that. Um, if you're not, I don't know, like, if transgenders have dating apps on their own, like, where trans, like, like, so we
I don't
all know,
know.
like, this is trans. I'm looking for a trans. I want to date a trans. Like, if you're on one of those open uh, websites where anyone like you don't have to put who you are. You don't have to put your identity. Like, I feel like that's a disservice, and people can get confused, and people can get, if you're making out with someone and they get aroused, and then they realize you are not who you say you are, it triggered some kind of like PTSD, or like some kind of shock to your system, and you act irrational. And I don't
Right.
blame them. Like, you're being misled, and then you're confused about, oh my God, does this make me gay? Does this make me attracted to like, what's going on with me? Oh, I have to get rid of this. I got to get rid of the evidence. You know what I'm saying? So it always leads to something violent. So
Mm-hmm.
I think honesty is the best way to go. Um, I think transgender people, there are some amazing transgender people out
Mm-hmm.
there doing really great work, but I feel there are some people that are just abusing that quality, and I really think that people need to be aware of what's going on, aware of who you're dealing with, because you just don't want to get caught up in some kind of, you know, even blackmail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to protect yourself. You don't know. So I think people need to be real, and protect themselves. It's a gray area, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like and society, social media helps society hide things. Like
Hmm.
you're hiding behind a platform, behind a computer
Yeah.
until you meet that person. That's why they made the show Catfish. Until you meet the person,
Yeah.
you don't really know who that person is, unless,
Hmm.
nothing's wrong with dating online. But
Hmm.
please be careful.
Hmm.
First thing first, she was wrong for inviting him into her house off
Oh
the
yeah,
jump.
I wanted to say
She
that.
messed up her safe space.
Right. No, that was already the first mistake. Um, Definitely don't invite anyone back to your house first date. Like, I thought that was common knowledge. I don't know, but
It ain't. It ain't. I don't know.
like, in your youth, you have your apartment. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna, like, do what I'm doing, my grown woman thing, my grown
Mhm.
man thing. But no, safety first. Like, don't ever invite anyone back to your house that you don't know, because these people are killers. Like, did you see the story in California? I think it happened a few months ago. Some
Mm-mm.
beautiful model was murdered in her apartment on some dating app that she used. She invited the man back, and he stuffed her in a fridge. He hogtied her, stuffed her in a fridge. The family said it was the most gruesome, horrifying homicidal scene that they've ever witnessed, they've ever saw, and they wanted a closed casket. Like, what that man did to her was like brutal, brutal. He disfigured her, and again, she felt safe for some reason to bring some stranger back to her house. You can't do that with people. You don't know who they are. So,
Maybe because we feel safe in our own home, but you're inviting a person that you don't really know into your safe space. That can create, like, your home can no longer be safe no more. You won't feel good going to sleep. That trauma will replay in your head.
mhm.
Like you said, I think social media, some people on social media use social media pages to target people.
Oh,
You got
absolutely.
to target. That's what they're using. Some use it to target women just for sex. Some use it just to target women just for to hurt them. It's
Hmm.
all many ways of why they use social media. Some use it to cheat. So
Absolutely. And again, I think it just comes with, age, and you have to be responsible for yourself. If you're going to allow someone in your house, you better know jujitsu. You better have like a gun, the knives ready. Like, you better know self defense, because that's a risk you're willing to take. But I don't think it's a smart one. And I think
mhm.
people need to, like you said, go to a public space, get to know them. If you're really just looking for sex and hooking up, that's the risk you take. So I hope it's worth
Hotel,
it. Oh
you
yeah,
better go.
hotel.
It's still a risk, but at least it's not at your home.
Exactly. Exactly.
They don't know where you live no more. In case something pop off, you gotta run. They don't know where you live to come back and get you.
Right. Yes. And say the first date doesn't go too well, but then the person comes back, wants to stalk you or whatever, and they know where you live. Well, you gonna move now? Like, no. So don't ever do that. Not on the first date, and not just for sex. Go to a hotel, like you said.
Mhm. I feel like a lot of women have good stories about dates and first dates. I feel like we all have some good stories or some times we had to make up a lie and the friend called and tried to get you out of that horrible date. I feel like we all have it. We all been there and done it. Now,
Absolutely.
we're gonna go into the next topic about another trending post. The woman got mad at her man because he sent her $15 for lunch. And she sent it back because she said it wasn't enough. And I feel like this is why men don't like to give us money because you first of all, I don't ask. I've never been the person to ask, but I'm gonna let you be known. You should be asking her anyway. Is she? Have you ate? Are you okay today? How your day going?
Hmm.
In that section, that goes for a man. Asking a man too. Have you ate? Are you okay, honey? In
Yeah.
that section, if you got me $15, babe, I could go get Zaxby's. I could go get Captain D's, a wing plate, a salad. That is enough, baby. Was you trying to go to a gourmet restaurant on a lunch?
I felt the same way. I was like, $15, like, that's a lot. That is enough. That is a meal and a drink. Like, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Um uh-oh. Ooh, hello?
Yeah.
Oh, did we get disconnected?
Mm.
Okay, wait, wait. All right, I see. Yeah, I think it screams entitlement, and I just feel like that was nice. So wait, this was her boyfriend. It wasn't like a stranger or a admirer.
Okay. It wasn't her man.
Uh huh.
They say it was a man.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So, yeah.
Like, come on, girl. Like, just the simple fact that he took the time to send you $15, even if it's just half. Like, so that's an act of kindness. And I like for her to send it back. It's you're a snob. You're being a snob. And I feel like you should, like, we always ask people to be kinder, to treat women nicely and all this stuff. And when like you said, when a man does it, you get treated like that. You don't want to do it again. It discourages you. So
Mhm.
I think she was being a child, petulant and immature and all that. And she needs some growing up to do. You
Most
know.
definitely. I feel like if you're gonna get mad about how much he sent you, why you didn't let him know how much you wanted? Like
Hmm.
if you had a meal in mind and you knew how much it cost, why you didn't? I need $20 for this meal. Um, but if even if he sent you half of it, like you said,
Hmm.
that's enough because he didn't have to. Like
Exactly.
she's ungrateful, entitled.
Exactly. Exactly. And that kind of behavior is toxic. So I guess that saved him. He doesn't have to deal with that. I wouldn't deal with that. Like I tried to do something nice for you, and you're like, go away. No, thank you. Like, I mean, you can say no, thank you. That's fine. If you're not interested, if you're not interested in the person and you don't want to get any mixed, signals, okay, that's being an adult. So like, no, thank you. I can pay for my own, but because I'm not interested in whatever you have to offer me. I don't want a relationship, nothing. I'm single, whichever. But if you're just being a snob about it, oh, it's not enough. You're acting, it's unbecoming, I would say. It's unbecoming.
I feel like even nicer would be because I see a lot of times where I work at, dudes will come on their girlfriend break and they'll go out to eat or go and eat together. Like it doesn't matter where, but you're spending time with each other.
Yeah.
So what if he, on another scenario, what if he came to wherever she was and brought her food? I would be so happy, like, oh my gosh, she took the thought and
Mhm.
time out your day,
Mhm.
and maybe she discussed or may not discuss what type of food she like, but you remember. I
Mhm.
would.
Those little
So,
things, those little details, those
mhm,
little it's refreshing because it means, like you said, it means you're paying attention and you really took some time to be mindful about my feelings and my needs, and you came and you took, I love a home cooked meal. I feel like that, especially if you love the person, the food tastes
mhm,
better. So I appreciate people who do things like that because not a lot of people do. There are some really, really bad, people that could care less if you eat or not.
right, right. Back on that scenario about bringing a person in your house and cooking for them, I feel like that's for your man. Like,
Mm,
or an individual that you've been talking to for a while, you want that person to be your man. That's when you cook for him.
yes.
That is not a leisure for someone who you're just talking to and who you don't see as being a person for your life. No.
Well,
No.
exactly. And that shows the level that you've reached in the relationship where now, like, I want to cook for you. I want to do something, or we could cook together even. This is sensual now. Now we're getting into the food. I see your style, you see my style. So I think, that is just it shows where you are in the stage you are in the relationship when you start cooking for one another. You don't always have to go out to eat, you know?
Mm-mm. Cause I'm picky, baby. I don't like everybody food, and I'm gonna tell it how it is. If I don't like it, I do not like this.
Uh,
Can I
and
get something else?
honestly,
Because a lot of times men will get embarrassed by women in restaurants. Like some women will put on a scene, but I don't put on a scene, but I'm gonna let you know if I don't like it or not. Either you fix it or not, because I'm the customer. I'm
mhm.
still gonna pay, but make sure I'm having a good experience. But some men, ask them to do the meal while you go to the bathroom. They won't know what you want and
Exactly.
probably can't tell them what they want. So the woman gotta take over. People like this and that, a steak medium, da da da. I've seen it. So
I have personally, I've worked in restaurants throughout my life, and several restaurants in New York City. And dining is, it's a sometimes it's performative. People want to like go out and have like this kind of air about them. And then there are people who are really just there for the food, for the entertainment, for the sociability of it, just to kind of get out and enjoy yourself. And I feel like sometimes people put too much pressure on uh each other for like those dates where you're really just supposed to be having a good time and enjoy, and like I think restaurants are the best um way to see how this person treats other people, especially the waiters. just everyone, the bartender, like you just get to see how this person treats other people. Because I tell you, the restaurant lifestyle is very, I want to say toxic, but it's competitive, and it's not always rewarding, so it's a tough job, and sometimes people aren't treated like with the best of respect. And I guess diner it shows your character by how you treat the wait staff, so you get to see how someone is, how by the way they tip, and by the way just they carry themselves, so it's just a good way to like to get to know,
Person.
the person. Yeah.
Mhm. Definitely, because what if y'all get to know each other and you want to invite them to a family event? You already know what's gonna happen at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So imagine what happened at a family cookout or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And then your family gonna be looking at you like, okay, you
This is
fixing
this
his
is what
meal?
you're into.
This is what you into? This who you brought over?
Yeah. I think we're social creatures, and we need to do these things to get to know each other. And food is like the best. I feel like it's the best way to, because especially if you enjoy food, um, and you respect, like, I tend to go to restaurants where, like, I want something exotic, or like I'll probably want like some African Ethiopian food, or some really good Japanese food. Like, I'm a foodie. I like to get around. So, can you keep up with me? Like, if you have a sensitive stomach, maybe now it's like, okay, we got to work around what you got going on, allergies and all this stuff. So, but I think we need to like just have fun, and fun on these dates, and not get so serious. It's not like a
Interview.
what is it?
Interview.
You know,
You gotta do a whole background check before you come here.
yeah, let's just enjoy ourselves and eat. I love watching like the Food Network, or
Hmm.
Chopped and all that stuff.
Hell's
Iron
Kitchen.
Chef. Yes, I have such a respect for the kitchen. Like, sometimes I go back and tip the kitchen. Because like when
Mhm.
the people do really well with the food, you want to come back. Um you want to give it praises. And sometimes, like, restaurants, you know, if you have someone who's being you know, spoiled brat, and like doesn't let it keep sending something back, or it's just, it kind of takes away from the people that are working there, busting their asses, they're up prepping, like there's so much that goes into food. So I feel like, respect the restaurant, respect the date, and respect what you were there doing. You're trying to enjoy yourself, and you know get to know each other. So
Definitely respect because I used to work in restaurant industry because I love food and I want my own restaurant myself
oh
one
yeah.
day. So I used to work in the kitchen. I wasn't supposed to be back there. I was supposed to be a server, but we're gonna teach each other. It takes a village. I always had me a free piece of chicken, cornbread every day. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I was a server. I used to do a lot. Gourmet salads,
Wow.
pizza, working the staff in the little area entrance. So I was serving and busting tables. So I got to see how people love food and
Hmm.
how my customer service affects people's experience too. So
Yes.
I feel like respect. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
The
So go
Oh,
ahead.
God.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, the restaurant industry is probably the most rewarding and craziest, and, like, maddening place you could ever work in. But it really gives you a view of what being human is. Like, you see every aspect, you see every age, every race. So it's like it's the most rewarding, but it's a little toxic at times. But I just being in the restaurant industry was fun. I don't want to go back though. I'm back. I'm
I don't
done.
want to
I'm
go back.
done.
I'm just gonna be the owner, baby. I don't.
Well, there you
Sometimes I'm gonna be
go.
there, sometimes not to check on the business. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It was soon. I gotta deal with it now, even worse in customer service
Yeah.
and the retail. I don't want nothing to do with it. It
Yeah.
be couples coming in and arguing. Or you done saw one day a man, he by himself, another day he with another woman, but he got a wife. So no, all this stuff happen in society. I don't want to be in it, baby.
Yep.
Not in it.
I tell you, retail. Yeah, I used to work in a jewelry store, and I had a client that would come in. He would buy one for his wife, one for his mistress. And it's like that's the world, you know. It's like it's fun. You get to see people. So
So just give some tips to women on how to come about dates and expectations for men.
um, ooh, wow. Now, just for context, you're speaking to someone who's been in a relationship for 12 years. Um, we
Hmm.
we cohabitate. We are not married. We've been planning a wedding, but you know, money and time, money and time. But for dating, from what I've seen online, I'm horrified. I'm horrified at the dating scene. I'm horrified about why it's so hard. I feel like when I was dating, it wasn't this complicated.
I don't want to go back. Even if I become single, I don't want to. I'm good. I will live like an old auntie for the rest of my life with no cats involved.
I feel like I feel like we've overcomplicated things, you know? Like if you look at nature and you look at like the way birds they like do dances for one another. They try to show their colorful wings to get you attracted to them. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm going somewhere. Um
Hmm.
but I feel like that's their natural like way of showing hi, like do you like me? Will you like, you know, would you want to be a mate with me? But like I feel like with human beings, we make it so complicated and there's so much pressure. You can't really show who what your colors are. You're either
Yeah.
hiding them or you're doing too much. And then that too much you can't keep that up. You know, that's a facade. You're not being real. Like, oh yeah, I can take you out on $1,000 date, but I can't maintain that, you know, and then you'll get upset if I can't maintain that. So I think as
Mhm.
far as expectations, I don't think you should have that much in the beginning. Like, you know, you like you can have a broad sense of what you want in a man, like generous, kind, has values, has common sense,
Oh,
has
emphasis on common sense.
you know, like let's just break it down. Like let's look at all the like the inner stuff first. Like, you know, does he have morals? Is he homophobic? Is he racist? Like, you know,
Yes.
like you have to look at the person first, and then you know all those things that you want to do. If you have, you know, similar interests. I don't even know how people are like meeting each other, or if it's just online, or are you going to the poetry, you know, cafe? Are you going to the concert? Like, how is anybody really meeting nowadays? Is it
I
just
feel
through the
like
app?
I feel like people need to go back to like the natural things, like you said with the birds and the wings, or like back in the day when we were kids. I knew I wrote a little note, hey, I like you, you know.
There you
Or
go.
nowadays people, if you're in the club and a guy interested in you, oh my gosh, the only thing he gonna do is look at you. And then when you leave, I already know emphasis on not the club, because I'm really in my zone while I'm at the club, baby. I don't want nobody.
Mm-mm.
Just done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody.
Hmm.
But they will text you as soon as you leave the club. I saw you at the club. I'm interested. Baby, no, you're not. I'm not.
No,
Mm-mm.
the club is the worst place to try to hook up with anyone for real, for real. Go have fun, dance, be like, let your flag fly, that expression. But just know it's not serious. Like you're just gonna have fun, you're gonna shake your ass,
Yes,
you're
baby.
gonna grind a little bit, but we ain't taking this home and
No,
this is
baby.
for the night. You can't take anyone seriously at the club, really.
Okay.
Unless you work there
Right.
or the
Even people
staff.
who work there don't take people seriously.
Right.
Like, but like you said, nowadays people just go off the dating apps or they the club,
Hmm.
which you should not do.
No.
And yeah, it's just social media. But I want to go back to when men approach you like with confidence and say, "Hey, how you doing? I think you're pretty. What's your name?" And I used to get that a lot, like lots at my job, and I just look at them crazy because I'm at work. I'm in my zone. I'm not trying to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work.
Yeah.
But go back to that.
um, as far as what do you mean? Like as far as someone a man approaching you, how you should respond if you're single?
Single, yes. It's about I want to see how you approach me. Don't send your friend. Don't send a text message on social media over here searching me. No. Come approach me as a man. But I know a lot of times men don't because they feel like how would that woman respond?
So you're saying like the fear of rejection, so men like kind of hide behind another friend or through but behind text.
Mhm.
Okay. You're
They
absolutely
do.
right. You have to be confident. Men need to show confidence because again, that's like showing your wings, you're showing your colors. Not overly confident where you're arrogant and you just expect someone to say yes to you because you have like a Mercedes or a watch, whatever. I don't know whatever everyone's into.
Hmm.
But you know how you approach a woman is the utmost importance, and you have to respect her space. And sometimes it's a hit or miss. Like some women don't want to be approached. Some women don't. Maybe like you got to think about what they might be going through that day. Maybe someone's aunt died. Maybe they failed an exam. There's so many things that are going on in people's lives. I think people forget about that, and you think, oh well, I'm going to take this opportunity because I see an attractive person, and I think they might be attracted to me. But if someone's not in the right mental space, you have to respect. Maybe they don't want to be talked to right now. Try again another day. It's like okay, back. And don't like what my pet peeve. I hate when men do this. Like if you tell them you're in a relationship, no, thank you. They still persist, and I understand persistence, but I think it's disrespectful when you blatantly tell someone, "Listen, I'm not interested. I'm in a relationship," and keep it moving. Like, good luck. I hope you find it. I hope someone. But to keep like asking someone over and over again is very disrespectful. So men, stop doing that.
It's because society and social media, they're toxic. They mainly want you when you with someone else. They like it's like a challenge. Oh baby.
No,
Okay.
it's not
When
a
you gonna be
challenge.
ready? Okay, and
Listen, first of all, you're delusional. It's not a challenge because it just goes to show you how you're willing to break up a relationship. That speaks volumes about yourself. You have no boundaries.
yes,
You
yes,
don't understand boundaries.
and then a woman do not think that the relationship gonna go so perfect after he just broke you and somebody else up, baby, because he'll do it again. And
Why doesn't anyone
yeah,
think that?
I have no clue. Some of these women be like, "Oh, my man talking to you." or such and such, just know that he coming back with me. Baby, he gonna come back to you and somebody else and somebody else. He ain't really for you. He for the streets.
He's literally dick, girl. I don't know if you ain't heard, like what you doing?
He for everybody.
Everybody, and if that's what you're into, like some women, I don't know, women are like all over the place. There are women who behave like men, and when I say that, I don't mean disrespectfully, but I mean
Hmm.
in a sense where they're okay with being a sneaky link. They're okay with being the side chick for in a marriage, or they're just okay with it, or they're okay with sleeping with multiple men at the same time, and that's a lifestyle you choose. But just know that there are consequences sometimes, because you know karma is a real thing, and you have to be mindful of other people. I know, like, you feel like, oh, this is independence and this is me being free, sexually free, and all of that, or this is bigging up my ego, because, oh, he still chooses me. Even though he goes home to you, he still chooses me, and I still have something. Girl, work on your self-esteem. That's low self-esteem. You don't
Yeah.
have to be second to anyone, and or even like you don't have to be, you don't have to, I guess I want to say, hide, because I think that's a way of avoiding relationships where you're in another relationship with someone who's in another relationship. Like, you're avoiding, like, actually connecting with someone. So I would say get therapy if you're in that
Yeah.
position, and you want it. Like, I think people who are okay with that lifestyle, maybe seek therapy. That's all I got.
I mean, different when you young and you just out here having fun, but at the same time, I wouldn't not knowingly be with somebody when they have somebody else,
Mhm.
because you can't have a man who lie. But when you
No,
find out, cut them ties.
absolutely. And it's not your fault, like, oh, I should have seen the signs or whatever. Some people are really good at hiding. And my boyfriend and I, we talk about this all the time. It's like, these men are narcissistic and sociopaths. Like, they really, like, hide who they are. I can't understand, like, lying to your spouse consistently, like living a double life. You're a crazy person. So that speaks volumes about your character. And like, if you're willing to um be part of that, you have to look at yourself. Like, why do I want to be with someone who is a liar, a cheater? Am I the same way? Is that what I think all men are anyway? You might as well just get it while you can, whatever. It's toxic, and it doesn't help us as a society. And it like, we're man and woman. We're supposed to come together and have relationships and walk this path of life. And I feel like when we're just consistently hurting each other over and over again, repeating cycles of our parents or of our grandparents, it's a disservice to us to grow as a society. So if we're still can't get past cheating and lying and cheating and doing all this weird stuff, I don't know, where are we gonna go? Like, what is this? Just it? We're just consistently hurting each other over and over again. Like, what does that say about us growing as a species?
I feel like I thought we came to the point where lying and cheating wasn't gonna happen because it's so much freedom out here, and being honest will save a lot. You could be the person who, okay, I love you, but I think that I'm interested in being with more than one person. You need to let that be known and let that person choose and decide whether they still want to stay in this.
Mhm.
And a lot of times that's why they cheat. They feel like it's something I just gotta get out there. It's something else. It's like it's really not something else. And then you come back and then the woman may not take you back because
Mhm.
she already knew it wasn't something else out there. I mean, with all women,
Mhm.
but So
Mhm.
what are you out there going to? What are you eager out there to get? Like I'm trying to understand. I don't understand, but
You know,
teach me.
men who do this throughout their lives, like, I feel like they're not addressing what's on the inside. Like, why do you feel the need to be with so many different women? What are you trying to prove to yourself or maybe to your friends? Like, I don't understand this competitive, if it is a competition, um, to be with as many women as possible, but also be married and have this image of I'm a good husband, I'm a good father. But at the same time, I have another personality that is like running off with many different women. I don't understand that. I feel like it is a personality disorder,
Yeah.
but I again, people have to seek help if they really want to change. Like, why do you want to do this? Like, why lying to your family? And it's not just your wife; it's your kids. And trust me, men,
Everybody.
if you have girls or boys, but girls, if you have girls and they're watching you how you treat your their mother, and I personally like I feel connected to that because I'm like, if see you mistreating her, this makes me feel a certain way about you, or and this is gonna shape how I select a man. This is gonna shape how I have relationships based on what I see my mom do, my father do to my mother, and vice versa, what my mother did to my father. So I think parents, especially Black families, you have to be mindful of the next generation that you're raising because we don't want this cycle to keep repeating. So if you're always constantly arguing and cheating and lying and having multiple babies with other women, it's just a disservice to the next generation. So I think men and women just need to be more responsible and mindful of what's taking place. I think people are just so led by the flesh and just the sex, like the sex is like the addictiveness of the sex and the feeling that you get from it.
The rush, the
the
lust.
Yeah, like
People,
they're too dependent on that. Like you gotta get like there's something you gotta have something else going on, you
it's like
know
a drug. It's like
yeah,
they're addicted to. I gotta get to the next. I gotta get to the next. It's like an addiction, like they
you have
say.
a problem.
They need help, but a lot of folks in the community don't want to get help because they don't want to get shamed, or oh, I don't want them to think that I'm crazy, that I'm going to therapy for help, so they'll hide. Some of them will go to therapy, but they'll hide it from their partner that they going, so their partner will think they're cheating when they really trying to go get help for something that's wrong with them that they didn't tell them. A lot of women go through trauma that happened in their life
Yeah.
early, and they won't tell their partner, so they'll go to therapy
Mhm.
and wonder why they're so disconnected with their partner and doing this and that.
Oh, absolutely. That I mean, if anyone is a survivor of sexual violence, molestation,
Mhm.
um, any kind of violation, emotional as well. Um, Anyone who's been abused and they're trying to work on that, you know, it must be the most loneliest feeling place to be. And then especially when you're trying to connect with someone else and there's that wall that you've built up, you know, and there's this need to protect yourself because you've been hurt before. And this is why I can't stand you know the way we treat each other. Like it's like some people just treat like we're just bodies. I can use you and throw you away, or I could, we're souls. And it's a real disservice to us as a species, as human beings, when we mistreat each other. I like, like if that person was mindful that this is a person in front of me. This has a soul. This has parents. This has, a childhood. This person has love in them. And I'm about to destroy them because I want to get 2 minutes of a freak off, or I want to destroy them to come in a cut, you're so weird. Like, it's all like this sexual energy that you put on someone because you need to get it out.
It's selfishness.
It's
It's
selfishness
selfish.
because there's a whole person there in front of you who's innocent or who is just a loving soul, and then you want to destroy that with your penis, or your you know it does a disservice to especially for women. No, women, men, children, anyone. Like, it's just a service because that's not all we are. We're not just
Exactly.
sex and
Exactly. And
feel good.
listen,
We've got minds, we've got voices and opinions, and I feel like when you have two people trying to come together and share those things, it's the most beautiful thing is to connect to another human being, and the most natural and spiritual and loving way. But when we're introduced to violence or abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, it takes away from us, and it's getting harder and harder for us to connect. And this is why we have
def-
so many people pretending to be something that they're not. And some people are just really closed off and they can't communicate effectively because of all the trauma, But I really think therapy is the way to go. And I think, again, like you said, we got to be honest. You have to be honest with people going into the gate. You can't hide because it's eventually going to come out. And
Mhm.
we need to just be supportive and mindful. And a man isn't just a man and a woman isn't just a woman, like these things. Like, we are human beings, we are spirits, we are souls, and there's so much more to us than just our physical and our wallets too, and our wallets.
Yeah.
So
Like with this whole subject and all these posts and trending topics, when it all comes down to it, it's about, your environment, where you was raised, and what did you see around you, is how women and men can get closed off and how they see dating. It can affect that. And trauma and things that happen to them can also affect things or how their dating go. A woman can become very hypersexual because of sexual abuse
trauma.
that happened. Um, Black families love to throw things under the rug, sweep it under the rug. So a lot of times we see in families a lot of common law, or we don't really see a lot of marriages, or we see parents cheating on each other.
Mm.
So we may not even, you know,
Have the best example.
best for ourselves getting older,
Hmm.
because we know, we never seen a good example. So I definitely feel like you said, communication, honesty, working on ourselves before we try to connect with people, because a lot of times we're really not trying to connect with people. We're just out here for ourselves.
Hmm. Very well put. I feel like we we kind of we get lost in our trauma sometimes, and we want to use it as a crutch or an excuse sometimes to behave certain ways, and I think that's a disservice to yourself. We could always say, like, oh, I didn't have the best example, but right from wrong. you know
Right.
uh, we should know right from wrong, and we should always try to do what's right. It's wrong if you're hiding it. It's wrong if you're ashamed of it. So we have to start being responsible for ourselves and how we treat other people. And
Mhm.
whatever, like, I don't know if people are spiritual or if people have a certain religion that they practice, but there's some kind of higher being that you believe in. That they're watching you. So if you already know, like, what you're doing is wrong, the man upstairs, woman upstairs is not pleased. Like, you know what you should not and should be doing, you know?
Mhm.
So I think we need to get back to that, you know, the morals. We need to get our morals back and just have some kind of structure on how we treat one another. You know, love thy neighbor. That means, you know, love the
Yeah.
person right next to you as you would love yourself. Would you treat someone that way? Like, you think they're stupid? You think, you know, you think, like the worst thing you do is lie to someone and think that they don't know. Like you think they haven't figured it out. Like it's so disrespectful. Like you really think that small of me that you
Mhm.
could lie to me and cheat on me and I wouldn't find out or I wouldn't notice certain things. And like that speaks volumes about you as a person. Like you really think other people are dumb, you know? Or
Right.
like you get off on it. Like you get off on thinking you're getting away with something. Like what does that say about
Mhm.
you? People really need to look at themselves and question why do they do the things that they do.
And work on themselves goes back to working on this
Yes,
as a whole,
yes,
everybody.
yes.
So I really appreciate you coming on this show, Miss Marcella. I
Thank
want you
you,
again.
Kashari, for having me. This was so much
No
fun.
problem. I enjoyed it. I want you
We
again.
have we please do it again. I know our schedules are
Yes,
crazy, but I would love to collaborate with you again. You're amazing.
yes, we definitely can collab again on a fun topic so could be laughing more.
Okay.
Uh, I want you, can you let them know again where they can find you?
Okay. Yes, we're called Odd Negroes. ODD, NEGROZ, NEGROZ. We're on Spotify and YouTube channel. We're planning to launch our podcast this summer. More visuals. We're really all audio right now, but again, it's educational. It's fun variety show. So please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and we're also on Twitter. Odd Negroes. Thank you.
I still love y'all name. Like, yes, y'all took the word back, Nicholas. You
Yes,
took it
yes.
back and made it your own.
That's
Most
exactly
definitely.
it. Like you know, a lot of people go by African American and black, and we're all into that. But Negroes is like, it's on birth certificates. People are ashamed of the word nowadays for some reason, but this is what we used to call ourselves. So we're just taking it back, and we want this to be a place for people to connect and talk about Black issues that are affecting us. We talk about reparations. We talk the need for reparations, really, and just issues with what's going on with the Black race, with us. How we could, you know, become one again. In a real way, in
Please,
a real meaningful way.
please.
So please, if you can, check us out. And help our channel grow because we want to communicate with the people and get ideas out and show our creativity.
Yes. Well, it was good meeting you. And yes, we're going to come back together.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Y'all, so I had a great show with my girl Marcella, and I want y'all to go and check her out. I'm still learning this platform, so I want y'all to go and check her out and come back for more vibes with your girl Kay.